Good afternoon, family. I wanted to just take a minute, give you a devotional thought out of the 37th Psalm that perhaps will bless the way that you look at troubling situations. In fact, if you need a title for this thought, just call it Seeing God Properly During Troubling Times. David in the 37th Psalm writes in such a way where he describes ultimately that God is a consistent God. In fact, later on in the psalm, he say that I've been young and now I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his children begging for bread. But there are three things that I think resonate over and over again in this psalm that ought to speak to you in troubling moments. In troubling moments, you got to have, number one, the right attitude. David would say in this psalm at verse number 3, trust in the Lord and do good. And that passage speaks to how you ought to carry yourself in moments. There's a whole lot that can determine how you deal with and navigate through distressful moments, but none of them will be as effective as your attitude. Your attitude ought to be one that depicts the God that you follow, that depicts the God that you say that you belong to, that depicts the nature of the God that you bow down to. How in the world can you trust in the Lord, Jehovah, and not do good when you know who the Lord is? If he's the way-making God, if he's the God that causes everything that is, if he's the God that can move all that you know to be reality, if he's the God that can create life, he's the God that makes life and death. If that's your God, your attitude ought to be one where you submit to him, you rely on him, and you continue to do good. But then number two, you ought to commit your ways to the Lord and trust in him, and he will do this. If you can have a mentality that says, I anticipate that my God will always follow through with what he said he would do. If I can anticipate ahead of time, he's going to be the kind of God that keeps me in every situation, I will begin to praise him in advance. Praise him before you know the answer. Praise him before he heals. Praise him before he delivers. Praise him before you get the job. Praise him before he raises your daughter up. Praise him before he causes your son to be right in his right mind and do the right thing. Praise him in any situation that you're in. Learn how to anticipate that the God that you trust in is going to do what he says he's going to do. So number one, have the right attitude. Number two, anticipate that God's going to be good. And number three, appreciate everything that you have. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Verse 4, you learn how to appreciate everything that you have, and it moves your God to want to do more for you. The problem with most people is not that God is not able to bless them, but that they don't have enough sense to appreciate what they have. So you appreciate everything that God gives you. Appreciate your health. Take delight in him. Take delight in the fact that God has blessed you with what you have. Take delight in the fact that God has given you opportunity. Take delight that he's opening doors, that he's closed some doors, that he's put the right people in your path, that he's removed certain others from your path. Learn how to appreciate every little thing that God has done. And I promise you this, that God will bless you to be able to say, just like David, I've been young and now I'm old, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his children begging for bread. I just want to give you a nugget. And that nugget is to learn how to see God in troubling situations. And you see him with the right attitude. Number one, you see him by anticipating that he's going to do something good for you. And you see him, number three, by appreciating all of what he's done for you. God bless you today. Listen, you pray for me. I'm going to pray for you. Let's get God glory. Let's keep pushing. Read the 37th Psalm and see the fingerprints of God all over your life. Have a great, great day. God bless your family.